Don't panic too much, folks. I'm hopefully about to empty some spaces. Let's go for the longer shot first. Has anybody here never played a role-playing game before?
Eternal GM.
Can you feel the incredulity? You've never played a role-play? Guys, come sit down front. I need volunteers.
Come on. Sit here.
Yeah, it's fine. You don't have to talk for ages. You don't have to hear a lot for a while. I was going to say, yeah, looking for volunteers.
Selective volunteering.
You have the option to volunteer.
It's conscripted.
Volunteering.
Have you ever DM'd before? Would you mind coming down as well? I already like you.
I know how to do that.
That's why
I've heard rumours of DMing.
Okay, anybody else here who's never DM'd, GM'd, story told, never run a... Three? You? Three? Because you were the first people to put hands up, so you.
Why did they not do that
I'm so glad I could bring you two together. This has been a wonderful reunion. There was one more? No? One more?
It's all a lie.
Yeah, come down. Okay, don't panic, they are magic cards. If you've never played Magic before, it doesn't matter, they are a useful prop. Obviously, I started buying these because of the artwork, and then it just became fun.
Is this how you're trying to get them into Magic the Gathering?
No, yes.
Video
Video games do not count, sadly. So, cards in your hand literally just sort of work with title, artwork, if there's flavor text, use the flavor text. But we'll come to that in a short while, just to make sure you're at least mildly familiar with what's on for now. So, hi, DMing 101, yes?
Yes.
Yes, next room. Cheap joke. So, I've been to a few of these. This is only my second ever panel, so I'm likely to stammer my way through this. I'm not going to apologise for that in the slightest.
Boo!
Screw you. So, wow, okay. Everybody DMing 101? Awesome.
There's more seats.
Graham's got to move up.
Don't panic.
Too late!
It's been terrible if you panic.
Why didn't I cut my hair?
Yes, you are. It's time to learn a new toy.
I am not responsible for any future editions. So as I say, I've been to a few of these in the past. Most of them tend to start from a very common place. It tends to be world building, and so sort of trying to start this from the most absolute basics, hence 101. I didn't realise how many 101 panels there were going to be at this con. But so we're going to strip it right the way back to the basics. So how many experienced DMs have we got in here? Yeah. We're going to go over a lot of old ground, but there's like stuff in here that, who knows, you might find useful. But the whole thing's going to descend into anecdotes at the end of this. We all know it anyway, so feel free to join in at the end. So, whole thing basically falls into a cycle of 4 steps. Write, react, write, react, resolve, repeat. So, writing is writing the scene, setting the scene, leaving the details for your players to sort of pick up and work with so that they roughly know what they're doing. React is basically sort of picking on, just responding to whatever it is that they do, whatever questions they ask, whatever ridiculous plans they come up with. Resolve, the world closing it around them, being as natural and organic as it can, and repeat, go back to the beginning, restart from the beginning. So, for example, writing. This is where I'm going to come to you guys in just a moment, is using the resources at hand. So, like, I'm guessing a lot of people here have played Dungeons and Dragons, yes?
Yeah.
How many of you have your own worlds?
Yep.
Yep. So a lot create their own worlds, but say, you know, there's loads of sort of pre-built worlds out there. So it's about sort of considering what resources you've got at hand by the world. So for example, Firefly, you've got Bandits, Reavers, the Alliance, or what's going on right now? Oh yeah, super prepared. Or Elder Scrolls. You know the basic races, you know how magic works, so you've got to sort of take those, work with them as your building blocks. what themes are you going to go with as your stop laughing? What themes are you going to go with as your campaign as well? So, to take for example Firefly, if you're going to go with a Reavers campaign, Reavers are going to be your building block. They are going to be what you're going to be working with mostly. That's where I'm going to come to you guys. Those are your building blocks. In your hand, you have a card that gives you a setting, an actor, and a situation or a theme. So, by the time I'm done talking, or babbling as it is at the moment, yeah?
I fail to see how there could be floodwaters in a scorched desert.
Exactly. At the end of this, you are going to compose a scene for my character. My character is Man-Man. He is a man with all the powers of a man, including responsibility and repressed emotions. Doesn't have to be elaborate, it doesn't have to be like a big epic campaign, it is just a moment in time which presents Man-Man with a challenge. So you have got to present him with a challenge. I will then go through cycles as I go through it. I was going to say, feel free to bounce off purple, he will talk to anybody. So, things like themes. Say, for example, you are running a game about vampires. You're going to stick mostly to vampires. That's going to be your theme. So you'll have vampiric thralls, you'll have bats, you'll have things like that, ancient castles, blah blah blah, or whatever the modern day equivalent is, seedy nightclubs, that sort of thing. In long running, exactly, yeah. In long running campaigns, you're going to want to break that up a bit. But if you start introducing, for example, werewolves,
Oh God.
what does it contribute? What
Dead
does it say?
players.
Crap
Dead
series.
players mostly.
Crap 3-book series.
Crap 3-book series, or potentially crap 5-film series.
Really badly written angst.
Yeah, that too. But like, so I mean, like, are you just throwing in werewolves because werewolves, or are werewolves somehow playing off against vampires in some sordid love affair, or some ancient and bland war? Are they in some way
I've seen that
contributing?
one. Yeah.
Haven't seen all of them. I gave up around about 3.
Why did you get that far?
Yeah.
Why did you stop?
I'll tell you later on. It was 12. Or something. But, so yeah, what do werewolves contribute? Like, if you're going for like a psychological theme, like, what are you basing your source material off of? Are you going from like the original werewolf idea where it's all like fears of Cold War and suspicion and identity, and if so, do the vampires play into that as well? Details? What details do you tell your player? So, say for example, you're running down an alleyway and you're blocked off. You're being chased by the guard, they're not far behind you. There's a stack of crates nearby. They're important to the story. If you're just in a market plaza and you describe the crates, why? Why are they important? Why are they necessary? Why are they going to be essential to this scene? And your players are immediately going to pick up on that, and they are going to zone in on those crates. They are going to break into those crates, they're going to find out every detail about those crates, they're going to build elaborate Trojan horses with those crates, which happened. Say if you've got a symbol on them, is that symbol pertinent to something that they're already looking for? Like, have they been following some trade group and suddenly they've sort of identified the logo? Or does it tell you something about the world? So is it something that is sort of pertinent? Are they containing spices from somewhere far away? Brilliant. We know that this town has big ass caravans that are probably going to be travelling all over the world. I should have brought water. Why didn't I bring the water? So, if you drop these details, your players are going to hone in on them. Yep. Oh, I thought that was a question. You're a lovely person. I wish I could speak for everybody. every other panel I've been to has been giving out confectionery.
Take the hint. There's a shop down there.
So, next step, reacting. If your players have honed in on the crates, for example, what are you going to do about them? They're going to bombard you with questions. What if, in the blind alley situation, you didn't mention the crates? And they're sort of looking at this blind alley, they know there's no way back. They ask the question, have I got a rope? Immediately you're guessing why they're asking, have they got a rope? If they don't, ask the question, why? Or don't even say, no, you haven't got a rope. Just say, why do you want to know? they tell you your plan, or their plan I should say, you can give them something, then you can tell them about the crate. So it's a detail that you can leave out until afterwards. If they do something absolutely ridiculous, this is where things like dice rolls or card drawing comes in handy. So you can utilise the dice rolls. One of my favourite methods with DMing is whenever the player mentions doing anything utterly ridiculous, lean forward, put on your biggest and most evil grin and just say, oh, go ahead, try it. Try it. You will never see anybody panic more, or in one particular case in my group, he'll just do it. And that's how we lost the first barbarian. So, big rule you'll read about in a lot of sort of DM guides or GM's guides or whatever, or hear from people like Matthew Colville or Matt Mercer, say yes all the time. It works up to a point, and it's one of the biggest points that I hear a lot of DMs say that I disagree with a lot. You can say no. You're entitled to say no. There is another official rule, Rule 0.
I say yes and no but.
Yeah. So like no is fine in like extreme situations. Like I pull out my laser pistol. Really, where did your sword go? That's fine. You know, they can't just fly because they asked to. Yes is a great one to follow with. You can try, or you can have a look. Like say, you know, for example, in the alleyway situation again. Can I look around to see if there's anything that can help us over the wall? You can try, or you know, if they turn around and say, I'm going to fight the guards. You can try, but, as you rightly say, yes, but, there's 100 of them. You killed the king, they are not in a negotiating mood. Explaining it to them that way, 9 times out of 10 will sort of get them facing in the right direction. The 10 is usually where you get the total party wipe out. At that point, it's on them, you've had fun, that's what's important.
Depends on the spell list.
Depends on the spell list. Say again?
So with that man, you're good again?
Yes, actually, yeah. I'll tell you some stories later on about Nathan. And then, finally, resolving. About closing the world in around behind them. So it's about, at that point, knowing your world. What is going to be natural and organic to the world. So if the player is in a market and they have announced loudly that they are going to slay the dragon, because there is a dragon, it's real, is everybody going to immediately cheer? Is this something natural? Did they do really, really well on, say, performance checks, charisma checks, whatever? Have they sort of really roused everybody's spirits? What do the dice rolls say? Or have they just completely flopped? Everybody can ignore them. They're not heroes yet, necessarily, or, you know, if they are, maybe they're well known enough, but it's just like, we like you, but you're not that good. What's organic to the situation? That becomes about knowing your world in detail. Beyond that, you can pretty much make anything up on the spot and just keep going through write, react, resolve, repeat cycle. Because by the time you've resolved the situation, they're starting to go, we need to come up with something else. So you rewrite the scene for them. Once it's closed in around behind them, you're narrating how the scene has changed. What they have done has changed the world around them in some way. So you rewrite the scene, get them to bounce ideas back at you until they come out with what they're actually going to do. Every single roleplay I've ever been in falls into that system. It doesn't matter if it's D&D, Pathfinder, Cthulhu, as was Thursday, Battlestar Galactica. Everything goes through, set the scene, react to whatever it is your players do, and resolve. Past that, all practice. Those of you who are new, those of you who have never DM'd, you're never going to be good without practicing. Talking to your players. Finding out exactly what it is they want. Giving the DM water, because that does do wonders for bribery. Thank you. Knowing your right players as well. If you've got a group with somebody who is not gelling, who's not having fun, one of the hardest parts you can do is actually kick somebody out. Or one of the hardest parts for players can be to tell you that you're doing something wrong. So ask them, talk to them all the time, and go back, write, react, resolve, repeat. Keep doing until you eventually get good at it. It's taken me about 10 years coming up this October to get to the point where I feel like I have any kind of authority to stand in front of a room full of far more people than I was expecting and tell them how to run games like this. So, now I come to you. Who's feeling most confident? Go for it. So, give me the situation for Man. Write the scene for me.
Based on my cards or just any sort of...
Preferably based on the cards,
Okay.
hence using the resources.
Do you want an example before the new people? Like
Does anybody else want an example? Or are you feeling good?
I have an idea.
I like it. Go for it.
So, Man.
He's in the desert. He's lost. He's alone.
You see my cards, but yeah. Man's lost in the desert. He's not alone, actually, because he's been in the desert for months already and being chased by a giant mantis. Yeah, he's the monster.
It is terrifying. If you've ever seen a mantis move, it's kind of like... and then... But Man is not fast or clever.
However, the mantis only moves when the floodwaters are low.
Okay.
However, the desert does have various ruins and hills that you can go up.
Okay, so currently we're sort of in dry period, Mantis is out hunting, but there's places I can hide. What's the nearest one?
The nearest one is
Reacting.
in the distance on the horizon. You can see a sort of large sort of pillars. You can see a large pillar in the distance, which could be ruins. And in another distance, in a mirage, you can see trees. But both are mirages.
Both of them are mirages.
Yes.
Man already knows they're mirages.
Well, it's sort of like...
Man is always doomed.
A mirage is the distance where you see the heat rising off.
Okay, yeah. So like one could be real, I was going to say, yeah. Can I get to either of them before the mantis reaches me?
Yeah, the flood waters are up at the moment, but they will drop soon.
Okay.
You can reach those before.
I'm guessing I can reach one, but I can't try for the other one before it comes after me.
No, they're opposite ends.
I will go for... Man has grown suspicious over the years. I will go straight for the pillar.
Okay.
What happens?
You go straight for the pillar, you get to the pillar, you do find ruins in the pillars.
Space enough to hide?
There is space enough to hide, but the mantises are now surrounding you.
I've tried this several times with many other people. Man always dies at the end.
Oh.
Say a prayer for poor Man. So yeah, you wrote the scene, reacted to the questions, and resolved it with Man's hideous and grotesque death. From that point on, it's feeling fairly conclusive right now. But yeah, from that point on you repeat. So potentially Man might try and escape the situation. He might try and ride these terrible mantis monsters. He might try and leap into the floodwaters in hopes of safety. It's probably not going to go well. But that is the general idea. Thank you very much.
Okay, so I had a forest, and a ghost, and a saw. So Man is, he's been wandering through the forest and he comes up to a sort of glade.
Okay.
That looks like there's some disturbed earth, there's a foul log with an etched axe into it,
Okay.
and there's a ghostly glow ahead of him.
Okay. So everybody hear that? In a forest, Man is wandering through a forest. He comes to a glade, and there is a notched and etched saw sticking in a log. You said. There's a ghostly glow about it. Presumably, this is the only tool Man has seen for quite some time. So right now,
Man should run away.
Man probably should run away, but Man needs shelter. Man hasn't.
No sharp object.
Only spurs.
Man is a grown adult and knows exactly what he's doing, and he can build a shelter.
Uh-oh. Oh no.
Man is going to poke the saw with a stick. What happens?
The ghostly glow separates from the axe and forms a ghostly sentiment.
Okay.
And then it's a
Terrifying.
yes.
Man will say to the ghostly figure,
I I've guarded the woods for years. What do you want it for?
Honestly, I just need like a roof or something. I'm cold. I've been out here for days. Or do you know the way out? Can you direct me?
It has been many years.
Wait, Man would never ask for directions. He has a house. Instead, I shall ask the spirit if he has food or water.
No.
That explains why you're dead. Can I just borrow the saw, please? I need to build like over my head for the night.
If you use the axe for good as well as shelter.
Like, what's my quota here? But either way, that's perfect. So you gave me the scene, you set it up perfectly. I wasn't expecting that in the slightest. Very good. Reacted to my ridiculous notion of poking it with a stick and my stupid questions, and yeah, you set me up with a brand new quest. So that is absolutely perfect. Well done. Thank you very much. Next. Yeah, go for it.
Do this.
So, my man's running away from a pack of hyenas, so he hears them chuckling away.
Yeah, yeah.
Just in the distance, but he knows they're hunting him. He comes across...
Man is keenly aware of when things are hunting him.
He comes across a fortified round cut, but it looked a bit desolate from all the roots that have grown across it over the years.
So, Man is fleeing from a pack of hungry hyenas, comes across an overgrown but very solid-looking rampart. I'm assuming it's solid-looking.
Yeah,
That's good. I was going to say, that's a good question, actually. How stable does it look? Will Man be safe behind it if he can get
There's a
there?
solid amount of roots at the bottom, but it looks like they get thin at the top.
Are there roots enough to climb?
He can potentially climb, but there is
He
a
can
poten-
potentially cry, but he is a man.
Real men
There are no emotions.
Climb check.
Yeah, but he can climb them. That is
Okay.
a possibility.
Do not bring dice. What happens? Okay, look, excuse me. Do you want to base it off a dice, or do you already know what will
I just
happen?
want the giant
I can
inflatable.
face it off a dice. I'll go with that.
Okay. Here we go. This is real reaction dice.
Why would you not bring dice to a DM panel?
I mean, they're in my bag, but I mean, purple's already over it. So. D20.
Okay.
Okay. So.
He climbs up a little pathway, but the vines that he was climbing on, they snap, and he tumbles a little bit, slides back down. Not enough to kill him or break his ankles or anything like that, but enough to maybe make him go, I don't want to do that again.
Okay.
What are the hyenas doing?
Well, the hyenas are getting very close there.
Lane is getting worryingly close. Okay. Am I high up enough that I might be able to outlast the hyena's hunger?
Probably not. I think the strength might give away. So
Okay.
you'd be running
Throw a
for
stick at Sir Fetch.
That's the point. There are sticks. They are basically kind of cat dog. I like whoever's that idea was. I will try and play fetch with the hyenas.
Try and rip off another bit of root.
Oh, are we doing it?
Yeah,
This is what happened with those. Critical.
Whee!
Not on skill checks! 20s are not crits on skill checks.
So I suppose as those hyenas are getting closer, you get that bit of twig or root, and you start going, yeah, they pay attention to it for some reason, and you lob that as far as you can, and they're just like, yeah, sure, why not? They go after it.
That man has lived twice. I'm doing right. Go for it.
Man has been living on a paradise island.
Nice.
Way.
My man is living in paradise. This is good stuff.
Has. And one day he is inhibiting, as he does, because he's on Paradise Island.
Yes.
More of a chunky duck.
Out of the nearby undergrowth comes a festering mummy.
That's never a good sign. By mummy, I'm assuming you mean embalmed body and not man's mother.
Why can't it be both?
both, yeah.
Better call me, better call me.
Embalmed mother-in-law.
Oh God.
A least she's already dead.
So,
For now.
naked in the middle of a paradise pond, and a mummy is towards it, very much like it's interested in all the parts on show.
Oh, this just got weirdly reverse Oedipal and I don't like it. Man will attempt modesty. What is available for Man to cover his modesty?
Some long grass. That's about it.
Man will attempt to rapidly fashion a thong from woven grasses.
Roll!
Roll a craft check.
Am I rolling this?
Apparently so.
I was
Yeah.
going to say.
You're the majority on this one.
Check there's not no poison ivy.
16.
Okay, well, you nipples are on show, but the rest of you is good.
Okay, some dignity has been restored, and we can argue about the semantics of exactly why she's emerging from the surf after she's been dead for 20 years. And why I have nothing to do with her daughter anymore and have been living on this island paradise. Thank you very much. This is very, very good.
Man is on a quest. He is seeking his treasure, but first he must traverse the rugged highlands. He's reached a kind of valley that has the bottom of is a river.
Okay.
He must go through the valley, through the river. However, there is a river serpent rumored to be in the area.
Everybody hear that? I was going to say, going through a valley, there is a river serpent, and I must get to the other side.
Sticks.
No, he's not using sticks anymore. We've been through sticks. Man will attempt to traverse the side. He is rugged and capable of survival and left his GPS at home for a reason. I'm going to attempt to climb the sides of the canyon and wiggle my way across the whole way in the hopes that it'll keep me out of reach of the dreaded river serpent.
Okay.
How, what is there a climbable route? Is it going to take me high enough out of the reach of the river serpent?
Can the serpent
There are
fly?
small ledges, but they're not very high.
Okay, so I'm going to be platforming. Oh, they're not very high. Could I potentially platform this? Could I speed run it
You can try to shimmy across, that's the best.
Clip through the top of the
Otherwise you
level.
have to go through the river.
Otherwise I've got to go through the river. I'm going to attempt to platform this. Which one?
Roll for it.
No, it's this
Disadvantage.
What do you get?
Well, you see a shimmer in the water as you see the spines emerging, and the river serpent is now caught onto your scent.
Okay. What else is nearby? Is there cover? Is there anything I can use at all, or is Man finally going to be his end?
There are a lot of small rocks in a very convenient path-like formation. However, there are gaps between them. You can traverse them.
Can Man go back to the paradise? Even if
If Man tries to go back, he will receive a very grim end from the serpent.
it's up to you now, and this is your dice. So if this goes wrong, Man's
Not
dead.
the big
Your
one.
hands. It's fine. It's fine. This one's rolling all right. It's done all right twice, badly twice. That was another 20.
What?
Not crits on skill checks.
Can I speed run the river?
Depends on the DM.
Man survived 4 times and preserved his modesty once. Sorry, 3 times and preserved his modesty once.
Some of his modesty.
Most of his modesty.
Most of his modesty, yes, and is now in an argument with his undead mother-in-law. That was beautiful. Thank you very much, folks.